Welcome, new teachers. I'm so glad you're here. My name is Betsy Potash, and I'm the blogger here at Spark Creativity. I want to say a special welcome to you. I remember so vividly what it's like to be in your shoes. And I want to tell you a little story about my first day of teaching and then let you know what some of the resources are for you here to help you in your journey as a teacher. So, my first day ever of teaching was actually one of the worst days of my life, and it kicked off a 10 plus years career as an educator. So if your first day was terrible, don't give up. I was teaching in California. It was my first job ever. I was 22, and I woke up at 5 in the morning. I put on my brand new teacher outfit. I picked up my brand new teacher briefcase. I was so excited. I went into my beautifully decorated classroom, and I got ready for my first lecture. And about 10 minutes into the lecture, I could see that my students' eyes had all glazed over, and they were glancing at the clock, and they were thinking, "Good Lord, when will this ever end? It's so boring." And it was the first time I ever realized I could be thinking one thing and saying something completely different, because as I was talking to my students, my internal monologue was, "Oh my gosh, this is a complete disaster. I am a failure as a teacher. This is never going to be okay. I can't believe this." And at the end of the day, after doing that over and over and over for the whole day, because I couldn't do a new lesson plan since I was so new, I just didn't even know how to sub something else in. I actually laid on the floor of my office crying for like 2 hours. And at the end of all that, I sort of picked myself up and I was like, okay, I guess I'm either going to quit after my first day, or I'm going to think of what to do. And so really from then on, I never lectured again. I teach only through creative methods in which I can be part of a creative community in my classroom instead of being a guru up at the front. I want to be a guide. And I've loved teaching ever since then. My new methods have made me happy. They've made my students happy and engaged. I like to do play performances, poetry slams, roundtable discussions, theater corner, Canterbury Tales pilgrimages, transcendental challenges. There's no limit to what you can come up with once you realize you don't want to be standing up at that podium reading your notes. And so I really want to welcome you here. My job, my goal is to provide you with resources and strategies so that you too can be part of a creative community in your classroom and not feel all this pressure on you up at the front that you just have to produce. You'll be helping your students produce instead. So here on this page, in this portal, I put some of the best posts that I think will be helpful to you as new teachers. You can also comb through the blog in general. There's all kinds of teaching strategies and resources. Up on the top bar, you're going to see my free Facebook group, Creative High School English, which I strongly recommend you join. There you'll find a big community of wonderful teachers across the world. They're all sharing their ideas, coming together around conversations, questions that I post. Putting up videos, sharing podcasts, things like that. It's a tremendous resource for you. And if you ever have a question, you can put it up there and get perspectives from other teachers, other experienced teachers, other new teachers, and my perspective as well. So I really invite you to join the Facebook group. Check out this portal, look through the blog. I'm really glad you're here. And I hope you'll have a wonderful first year as a new teacher. I did, even though my first day was terrible. At the very end, one of my groups of students actually gave me a standing ovation, and it was one of the highlights of my career. And when I think of how I came from that first day that was such a total disaster to such a wonderful final day, I'm just honored by the experience. And so I want to share all that I've learned with you. Bye.